Fox News Alert, new audio obtained by the Washington Post of President Trump on a call with Georgia election officials claiming that he won the 2020 election and threatening legal action. Let's take a listen to one of those clips.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen.
With that, let's bring back our panel. Associate Editor for Real Clear Politics, A.B. Stoddard, Fox News contributor Jessica Tarloff, and Right in D.C. host and attorney Gail Trotter. A.B., start us off. Your reaction to the audio obtained by the Washington Post.
Well, the accounts of the whole hour's worth of sound really show that the president has been told by people, I guess, around him, like Mark Meadows is also on the call, that there is, fraud that needs to be looked into. So he has not read it in the paper. He's not seen it in a court docket. He's never actually been presented with evidence that Raffensperger has that he's hiding. But he's accusing Raffensperger of doing that. And then he says, of course, things like, in my opinion, machines are being shredded, so ballots are being shredded. So this is incredibly politically damaging to President Trump. He does not care one iota about that. But when we talk about Wednesday, when we talk about Republican lawmakers in the House and the Senate objecting to the certification of a free and fair, legitimate election with allegations of fraud and evidence of fraud they have not yet presented, this phone call where the president is threatening a Secretary of State who has counted the votes 3 times, a Republican who supported him, is going to be very hard for them to defend.
Jessica, your reaction to the audio.
My reaction to the audio is the same that it was just a few minutes ago. I'm absolutely gobsmacked, and I'm further gobsmacked by the fact that we haven't heard from every single Republican coming forward with their tail between their legs saying we have now gone, this is a bridge too far. Ted Cruz was on earlier this morning with Maria Bartiromo defending this push to overturn the Electoral College results, asking for this 10-day audit for widespread voter fraud that no one has been able to prove. In court, the Trump team has had 1 victory. The Democrats, led by Mark Elias, has 60 victories. No judge, even Trump appointees, wants to hear anything about this ridiculousness, the most ridiculous of all being Louis Gohmert's suit, which got knocked down, I think, in like 30 seconds. It's terrible for Georgia. It puts Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue in a bad position. But most of all, it's terrible for America. He should concede. He should walk out that door on January 20th. I don't think Joe Biden cares if he attends the inauguration or not. And hopefully we can put this very dark period behind us, and all of these Republicans can atone and make amends for what they have done. It's 140 Republicans in Congress, I think, including people that won off of these, quote, fake ballots like Jody Hice in Georgia's 10th district, need to do a lot of atoning for this.
Gail, your thoughts.
A.B. and Jessica just don't get it. The voters who wanted President Trump to have a second term voted for him because he's a fighter. He's a man who fights. And this is yet another example of where they are not going to, A.B. said that this would be politically damaging, and Jessica is giving advice to her political opponent. Well, President Trump doesn't take advice from political opponents. And here's yet another example where he shows that he's going to the mat for the over 70 million voters who entrusted him to fight back. And this is yet another opportunity where he understands the radical leftist agenda that Joe Biden and his administration want to put, particularly in the radical list of judges that they want to put on the bench who are politicians in robes and who don't want to just fairly interpret the law, but want to enact a liberal wish list into policy through the courts. And so President Trump understands the stakes of this election, and the Georgia election, while it's a state election, has national implications. And it's the only way to stopgap the Biden administration from pushing through the radical agenda of D.C. statehood, Puerto Rico statehood, court packing, and abolishing the Electoral College. And I will tell you that President Trump's supporters are glad that he is continuing the fight.
All right, speaking